Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Antigua court dismisses challenge to mandatory vaccination. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday, 8th October 2021. Details when we return.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world? And you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
Welcome back. The Antigua and Barbuda government welcomed a court ruling that dismissed an application by the union representing public servants which sought to challenge the government's policy on vaccination against the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Attorney General and Minister of Labour Frederick Benjamin said the move by the Antigua and Barbuda Public Service Association ABPSA had no merit. The ABPSA is among a number of unions that have sought to challenge the vaccine mandate, and during the hearing on Monday, the court dismissed the matter on the grounds that the association does not have the authority to put forward the motion given the current state of emergency SOE, and that further, the ABPSA is not a recognized and registered body. Last month, the union filed a petition for judicial review after indicating that the mandatory vaccine policy was unreasonable, irrational, and disproportionate. It also sought a stay of the implementation of the policy pending the final determination by the High Court. The ABPSA President Joan Peters, speaking to Observer Radio, confirmed that the matter had been dismissed. The government has warned that the salaries of those public sector employees who remain unvaccinated will be withheld unless the employee can provide a valid medical exemption while they remain away from work. Trade unions have taken legal action to get the government to reverse the policy, claiming that the vaccine mandate is too harsh. Barbados' Prime Minister says Barbados and the Caribbean community are committed to engaging the world together as they face similar circumstances, trials, tribulations, and opportunities.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley made the comment as she formally accepted the presidency of the 15th session of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development from President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, during a handover on Tuesday.
We believe that the issues in many instances can be met by judicious policies and fairness and equity and opportunity. But we also recognize that as easy as it is to say so, it is that much harder to persuade all of that. And to that extent, therefore, in the same way that this organization has done great work that eventually has come to be embraced as norms, that we hope that over the course of the next 3 years, we can, through the Bridgetown Covenant, as well as the Spirit of Speightstown, which is the political declaration, that we will be able to have an impact on the conduct of development and trade across the global community. And to that extent, therefore, I look forward to working with you. I'm happy that our sister, the Secretary General of CARICOM, is also here because, as I said, we do this not just as Barbados, but as the Caribbean community, because that is our commitment to engage the world not as a singular territory, but as a community that has, in all respects, face similar circumstances, trials and tribulations and opportunities.
The recently elected Philip Davis administration in the Bahamas says over 500 government promotions and hires are currently under review. Our News Bahamas filed this report.
Not doing anything peculiar. In any new administration, we would assess what is taking place, especially what is taking place in the last 6 to 8 weeks. So we have placed all pending promotions and hirings on hold and making assessment in the shortest possible time.
The State Minister for Public Service says officials are working hard to ensure that review is completed in a reasonable amount of time.
Obviously, persons are waiting. It's not our intention to disenfranchise. We have to make sure that policy is being conformed to. We have to make sure that these promotions are being issued on merit. And of course, we also want to I continue to say that we want to consider that we make sure that our personnel is not disenfranchised by a long wait.
On September 13th, just days before the 2021 general election, then Public Service Minister Brandon Roll revealed the government had officially made 1,200 workers from its 52-week unemployment program permanent and pensionable. During a Free National Movement rally in Abaco, he said 85 people from the island were approved with letters of employment readied. Glover Roll says so far the process is going smoothly and assessments are being made in consultation with other ministries.
The St. Lucia Teachers Union has given notice that it will oppose a vaccine mandate for teachers in St. Lucia.
World Teachers Day is being observed under the theme Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery. This theme, says President of the St. Lucia's Teachers Union, Dawn Howell, draws attention to the invaluable contribution which teachers are making to the nation's recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Without a doubt, he says, the COVID pandemic has impacted the profession, bringing with it added burdens.
Teachers are faced with a mammoth task of reaching their students and advancing our professional values under these pandemic conditions. The observance of World Teachers Day is an important part of activities for Teachers Week. The St. Lucia Teachers Union also draws attention to the challenges that teachers face to keep the education system functioning during this pandemic. We must highlight the effects that this pandemic is having on teachers, their psychological and physical well-being.
In his address, the SLTU president urged educators to stand in solidarity with their regional counterparts who are confronted with vaccine mandates affecting their livelihoods. Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, and Guyana are some of the CARICOM territories which have imposed vaccine mandates for teachers. Here in St. Lucia, there have been calls from some quarters for the same to be done in an effort to return children to the classrooms. But the SLTU president has indicated that the trade union will not support similar actions here.
The St. Lucia Teachers Union is keenly monitoring the situation as it unfolds in St. Lucia. Given the sacrifices that teachers continue to make, the SLTU will fervently oppose any move that will place further strain on teachers. As we celebrate teachers, we must be ready to stand in solidarity with our colleagues who face any form of discrimination and/or changes to their employment status.
Teachers have been encouraged to remain strong and committed to the cause of education and their profession. Meanwhile, the SLTU president says the union will continue to represent educators, ensuring that policy decisions taken for the education system serve to support the professional practice, and additionally that teachers are provided with the necessary resources. For the DBS News World, I am Zaid Romulus.
Hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
On Tuesday, the Guyana Teachers Union, in collaboration with the GTT, held a simple ceremony at its Wolford Avenue headquarters to honor and celebrate teachers around the country. Wendell Badri of HGP Nightly News reports.
In her address, while acting as the president of the union on behalf of Mark Light, who is away from active duties currently, Leslyn Collins, the first vice president of the body, made a call to the Ministry of Education for greater training for teachers who use online facilities and also to equip schools with ICT hubs. She also called for the ministry to address the issue of salary increases for educators across the country and also to be more collaborative with the union, which is the representative body of teachers across the country.
Address teachers' training for online engagement. 2. Equip each school with an online platform that supports e-learning. 3. Honor teachers' outstanding payments, debunching our 2% for 2017, fix the 2016 curricula, address annual salary increase for 2019, 2020, and 2021. Commence discussions with the GTU for a multi-year agreement.
Damian Blackburn, the newly appointed Chief Executive Officer of GTT, was present at the ceremony and expressed his gratitude on behalf of the telecommunication giant to educators across the country.
On behalf of the entire GTT team, I would like to extend my congratulations and thanks to every teacher in Guyana for all that you do every day to develop and prepare the children and youth of this beautiful country for the immense opportunities that will await them in the next decade in this global and interconnected world we now live in.
Blackburn announced to those gathered and who were also tuned in to the live stream on Facebook that the company will be offering care packages to the nation's educators over the course of the next few days as a token of their diligence and commitment to delivering quality education.
I am proud to announce that to you all that GTT has provided some items for the 4,000 teacher union care packages that will be distributed over the next few days. We've provided each care package with a $500 Guyanese mobile top-up card, totaling $2 million Guyanese dollars. For every teacher who registers with our mobile money MMG service, you will be credited with a $500 Guyanese dollar bonus.
The ceremony was also interspersed with a few cultural items. Nightly News spoke with two young educators, Leon Bishop, who teaches mathematics at the West Rhinefeld Secondary School, and Shondell Fort, an assistant senior mistress at the St. Margaret's Primary School, who also teaches the grade 3 level. Both Ms. Fort and Sir Bishop agreed that the sudden thrust into the online learning portal has had its own bits of challenges, while they solicited assistance in that regard, especially from the Ministry of Education. Ms. Fort explained that the Zoom classes pose a difficulty for her since she does not have access to the full version of the software, and thus every 40 minutes she would have to log into the session to resume teaching her class.
Really great if the minister, she can provide or pay for an entire Zoom session where teachers don't have to, because when we're using the Zoom, you have to log in for every 40 minutes. So if the minister can pay for an entire year for Zoom services for the teachers, that would be great.
Meanwhile, Sir Bishop, who is fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus, was asked whether he fully agrees with returning the nation's children to the classroom, of which he has been a part since the implementation of that initiative by the government.
In fact, the online teaching is not really meeting the success that we ought to have because of how Guyana is situated. So I believe that we should be back, but in a safe manner.
World Teachers' Day has been commemorated annually on October 5th since 1994, following the adoption of the 1966 ILO UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers, which sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, and teaching and learning conditions. Teachers' Day 2021 is being observed under the theme, Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery. Nightly News take this opportunity to wish all teachers across the country and the globe by extension a happy World Teachers' Day. Wendell Badri, HGP Nightly News.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.